Hi everyone, this is Rachel O'Hara. I am the Managing Director of Sales and Marketing at JSL Solutions, and I will be talking about behavior number 8, check your ego at the door. I have to give the typical disclaimer that I think most people have to at this point in quarantine, and I am working at home with my family. So you will likely hear some small children in the background, and I apologize for that. But in any event, I want to talk about checking your ego at the door. I had a bit of a different um, script set up prior to the events of the last week or so. And so I'm kind of going off the cuff at this point because I'd like to change the message a bit. So bear with me. I think everybody understands the concept of checking your ego at the door. Within a professional, workplace, oftentimes you hear that phrase, and I think in most cases it means, we want to focus on the team. We want to check our individual egos at the door and not worry so much about individual bragging rights or whose idea is better than another person's idea. We want to collectively focus on the team's results and not how we got there. So, in order to be, the most productive, you want to create an environment where everyone feels as though their opinions and their ideas are valued. We really want to sit and listen to everyone's ideas to, not be always thinking about our own ideas, really take the time to listen to other people's perspectives because that's what breeds the best ideas and concepts that can be acted on and then lead to more significant results. So I think that's a concept that we all understand, and it's something that is really important, particularly when working within a team. But I think we can apply the concept much more broadly as well. So I think everyone can self-monitor themselves a little bit more in terms of checking their ego at the door when they're entering into any conversation. Especially when we're talking about difficult things or things that may be just harder to talk about because there's so many people with different perspectives and different ideas about something. So as we're talking with our friends, our coworkers, our relatives about the horrific events that we've all seen unfold before our eyes, for years, really, but, so much attention has been brought, thankfully, we're having some harder conversations now. And I think that, it's time to have them. It's a time and a place where silence is not the answer. So we need to create forums, and whether it's a culture within your workplace or whether it's just people to speak in your personal relationships, significant others, family members, like I said, anyone. You want to create an atmosphere where everyone can share their feelings about what it is that's going on in their heads, what ideas that they have. And, I think beyond, just talking about, very specific events that, have been going on, it has to expand further. It has to be applied. The idea itself has to be applied to everything that we talk about with others. If we recognize other people's creativity, other people's wisdom, and other people's brilliance, that all of those things are packaged in many different forms, and everyone is going to have a different perspective. We truly have to consider those perspectives. We can't just close ourselves off to other ideas, especially because we have our own egos. We all have them. And even if we go into a conversation being very passionate about something, thinking that we are right about something, doesn't mean that someone else's perspective isn't just as right or just as valid. We have to acknowledge that anyone can contribute to the conversation and release misperceptions wherever we can. And that's a difficult task sometimes. So we have to be very cognizant of our own role in these conversations. Not only do we want everyone to share ideas, but we want, when we share our own ideas, we should be soliciting and applying useful feedback from other people. So we have to avoid the defense mechanism of, defending ourselves and, justifying what we said, because perhaps it was misinterpreted, or you misspoke, or whatever the case may be. Avoid that, and really listen to other people's feedback on your own ideas, and listen patiently. I think that's something that is important, because all of us, especially in today's society, where none of us are patient anymore. Or there's very few people that are. I'm not patient. But if we can teach ourselves to slow down and really listen to what other people are saying and be patient, I think it'll really help us in terms of understanding other people's perspectives. Don't be afraid to try out a new idea, even if it's something that's foreign to you. Don't be afraid to, take some, new thought, for a spin. And again, create an atmosphere where the people around you, whether it's your team at work, whether it's your family's dinner table, whether it's, a group of people at, a barbecue this summer. Socially distance, of course. Create an atmosphere where everyone can share their feelings and create a dialogue, and everyone can be passionate about how they feel about something. But the dialogue is what's important. Silence is not the way that anyone should, handle difficult conversations. And the more we can encourage everyone to be part of the dialogue in all aspects of our lives, the better off we'll all be. So hopefully this has been somewhat helpful. I will defer to next week. We will be talking about let me see here, behavior number 9, fighting the harness of fear. Hope everyone is hanging in there. Stay safe, stay well, and we'll talk to you next time.